Let's build on this and find out what exactly happened last night. Nancy Rommelmann's an author and journalist on Reason magazine. She doesn't have to be explained to what Antifa is. You've seen it up close and personal. Some of the things they wrote: we want everything. We want revenge. What do they want? What do you mean everything? They want revenge.
Well, that's the question. I think what they want is anything they want. I don't think they have a particular party ideology. Down in Sacramento yesterday, one of the speakers was saying that, actually it was in Portland, was saying that even AOC is way too conservative for them. They just want what they want. And what they want is to keep getting out into the street every night and causing destruction, because as far as I've seen, that's what they know how to do. They know how to tear stuff down, but I have yet to see them build anything.
So when you go out in the street and you see them, they decide whether you're allowed to film or not. They decide whether you're allowed to go forward and cover them or not.
Yep.
They only want certain types of people covering them.
And those people are basically, you know, we're talking very, very young people, Brian. We're talking like early 20s, and they, you know, they dress in the black bloc. It's sort of the live action role playing. They put press on their hats. They put medic on their bodies. And then when you're sort of a regular news person like I am, they steal your camera. They rough you up. They tell you they're going to kick your butt because they do not want you filming. They want to control the narrative. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, America sees this and they think, well, they see these people being besieged by the police. That's the only message they want out there. Well, yeah, sure. You know, the feds did throw tear gas. And you know when? 3 hours after their building had been, you know, hit with flaming trash, and they're shining these high-powered lasers and trying to blind officers and setting fires. And they do this less than it was in the summer, but pretty much they're just doing the same thing every night. And you know what? Because I don't think they have any ideas. I really don't.
Or someone's financing them, and this is getting paid. A lot of these kids evidently are young adults, and someone's paying them, and they have college educations in many cases, and they're choosing to do this for their self-worth, and they have very little regard, as we're seeing these flags burn, for the country they're in. They want no jails, no prisons, no cops.
That's right. They also, I think that, you know, this all really picked up steam during COVID, and they didn't have jobs, a lot of them, and the schools were closed down, and it was like legit. You could go outside and hang with your crew and, you know, save the world and make the world a better place. Well, after 8 months, you think that they would get tired and just like try to build something, say, hey, you know what? Maybe we're going to do something else tonight. Maybe we're going to talk about it. But they're not. And of course, they have the assist from the local DA and the mayor, who, even after, you know, we had huge New Year's Eve protests, and finally the mayor came out and said, I'm going to get tough. I'm going to call in, you know, other factions of law enforcement and make changes. And it hasn't happened. And you know what? When he came out and said that, I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a little bit of hope that he's actually going to do it. But it hasn't happened. Nothing's happened. Nothing has happened.
So Mayor Wheeler, who put on a mask when Donald Trump said, I'm going to put some federal troops in there to guard federal buildings. They're attacking federal buildings. They matter to states and counties and cities. And when he was very critical, and he put on his mask, and he was actually with the protesters. Now he's getting tough because he's been embarrassed. He ran again, got reelected. He ran against a former Antifa or a current Antifa member. That's the only reason he won. Now they're harassing him and his family. Final thought, Nance.
Well, you know, they drove him out. Instead of standing up to the protesters picketing outside his building, he moved out. I think what has to happen is the DA, who decided that, you know, we were not going to arrest people for protesting crimes. I think there has to be consequences. I mean, if you and I go out and break some windows, we're going to get arrested. I think it has to happen there too. No question. Nancy Rommelmann, we'll continue to cover it. We appreciate the bravery you're showing by continuing to shoot it and be there on the streets. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we move